What's up, guys? Today we're playing Epic 7, and today we're on a subscriber account, Snow Me the Way. We are making a ton of headway on our goals for this account. I feel like we have a few more videos to go, and we'll have achieved everything that we set out to achieve. Now, today we're looking at Nightmare Arahakan. I don't have any heroes with bleeds, so today we're going to use burns. We're going to destroy this boss, maybe with a little bit of luck, and see if we can get any kind of gear. Let's go into our heroes. First up, we have Magic Scholar Doris. She is at a plus 30 specialty change, and she basically just has, leftover free gear. What you want is defense and HP. A couple of speed probably is good, doesn't really matter too much. And then we want everything else to go into effect resist. So typical tank gear, right? 1400 defense, 22k. I want her at 180, maybe even 170 speed. That way she goes after the enemy and can then heal up anything left over into effect resist. You need 200 effect resist to not get stunned by the nightmare boss. So that's something that you can look at if you want to use her. Now I typically use Water's Origin, but we're using Touch of Fate Ghost today because she needs that extra bit of healing. Ideally, I'm not going to use her in this battle. Instead, I'm going to bring in Angelic Montmorency because she does a better job at it. Now let's go into Researcher Carrot. Plus 30 specialty change as well. She's at a plus 15, which is good. And she's using the level 88 gear that we got from the... Where did we get this? From Abyss? Yeah, from Abyss. Turned out pretty good. She needs to have more effectiveness for this fight. We want 85. Now for the minions, you don't need quite 85, and that's what we're using today. But ideally, it's what you should shoot for, so I'm trying to upgrade these a little bit later. We have 4,500 attack. I want to get 1,300 defense and 13 to 15k health, and then bring her up to like 170, 180, and she should be pretty good. We're using last tea time because someone has to use it. So why not? Now let's go into Navy Captain Landy. Now this Landy is, it's a budget Landy, is what I would say. She doesn't have enough of anything, really. We want to get to 3,500 attack, 1,200 defense, and then 17 to 19k HP is fine. She can be slow on the counterbot build for PvP, or you can run her a little faster if that's what you like. Now for this fight, she needs to have as close to 100% crit chance as possible, so that's going to give you some consistent results, right? Then anything left can go into crit damage and effect resist. If you have 56 effectiveness like I do, that does help with stunning the ads, so that's something I would keep in mind. Let's go ahead and look at her gear. This is the free counter gear. This one here, the Destroyer, I think that one's from PvP. None of these rolled very high. Pretty good pair of boots there, 100 equipment score. Now let's go into Champion Zerato. Now, this one is another hero that you can use onto the free lifesteal gear from the Abyss. He's on Gala Elites. I hate Gala Elites because you can't reforge it. I wish they would change that because really there's no reason to build it. If you already have it built, then go ahead and keep it. Put it onto a hero for the World Boss or Champion Zerato like I have done here. But basically, there's no reason to level this gear up if you can't reforge it. It needs to be level 88 gear or else I mean, the values is not there, right? What did that come into? 21 defense, pretty good. Attack pair of boots and defense ring. This all can be an HP ring as well. We want to get around about 3,000 attack, 1,200 or more defense, and then he works better on an HP ring at about 15k. You can run him about 150 speed. We want to try and get up to 85% effect or crit chance. That way he gets the elemental bonus, and that gets to 100%. Anything left can go into crit damage, and then we want to make sure that we have 85% effectiveness to land the debuff on the boss. If you do his self-imprint, you'll get an extra 23, which helps out a lot. Now for artifacts, Calandra works, right? The best artifact for your champion Zerato is probably going to be Fairy Tale for a Nightmare. This will help him to do extra damage. Now, because this is fixed damage, it's true damage. It goes right through the boss's shield and will damage him every time that Zerato does a counterattack, which makes it very good for helping to do consistent damage to the boss. It's not really needed, as you saw. We use Caladra today, but if you have Fairy Tail for a Nightmare, it does work very well into this fight. Nightmare Arahakan. Let's give this a try and see what happens. Now, we need to bring in some debuffs. You need to have two debuffs that stack the same debuff. That's going to be Burning, Bleed, Poison, or Venom. The boss is immune to poison, so we probably don't want to bring that. We're probably going to want to bring Burning or Bleed. That's the easiest to do. And what we have is Carrot for that today. Now, you can bring in other heroes as well. Things like a Fire Araminta, you can bring in a Bihu, you can bring in Moonlight Araminta, tons of heroes to put down the burning. But you want to make sure that they have at least 85% effectiveness. That way they can land. We also brought in Champion Zerato. He is going to be our frontline tank. He's going to get lots of counter attacks. These guys are all immune to defense break, so when they land one on him, he's going to counter, which is awesome. And hopefully we get some Elbrus out of this Landy as well. We're mostly bringing her in for damage. When the enemies have these, stacking debuffs on them, hopefully they take just a bunch of damage and die. That's the general idea. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to pop these bleeds. I want to stack them up so that my other heroes do more damage, right? So if you're using something like a Fire Araminta or a Bihu, you're going to be careful of who you're going to explode and when. Now we do have looks like this all got taken care of. That's good. So we have decreased speed here and a burn. At this point, you can decide to hit him with a S1, or you can use the Archie, which will be good because that puts down some more damage for you. I generally like to use the Archie onto the healer turn. That way we get some damage on our healer turn, but I like to keep souls just in case we have to use them for a different reason. We really don't need anything here. Let's go ahead, and I think we're going to pop it. We won't get the buff, but we'll get the 33,000 damage, which is really good. Nice counter there. Now I'm using Moonlight Landy because I have her, right? I'm not really using her for anything else, so we're going to try her out here, and hopefully she works out pretty well. A lot of these accounts that I am working on, they don't have Moonlight Landy, so I'm not really sure how she's gonna work in this fight. Decrease speed, very nice. Now, one thing to note is that we do not have a heal block here. If we bring in something like a Seaside Bellona or a Fire Araminta, then we have the heal block to where the ads won't be healing the boss. But because we don't have that, we're going to have to kind of watch out a little bit and see how much she gets healed. Not really sure if it's a girl or not. Not sure why I said that. I guess waifu Arahakan, but she will devour you. I don't know. That sounds weird. Let's go, and we are going to, if we can kill everyone before the boss gets her S3 up, then we'll be able to keep cycling here. Now, one thing to note is that once you hit 50%, no matter what kind of stuff that the boss has, let's do this. No matter what kind of debuffs the boss has, she is going to heal or cleanse all the debuffs, go back into her shield, and summon some of these ads. So that's going to be pretty important, that you don't want to burn all your stuff and then have her go into the shield phase.
I'll win anyway.
Let's go ahead and see if we can kill this little bug. Very good. Now on the next one, we're going to be using we're going to hit that 50% mark, so we're going to watch out for that. Now, I believe that she also cleanses the bugs, so we don't want to put down a bunch of burning and bleeding and things, just to have it all get cleansed
Don't waste
away.
my time. I'll do everything I can. Nice.
I think this S3 should be fine. And I
I'll
think
show
even
you
I'm
some
going to
results.
pop the next one as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it.
Statistically, the odds are on my side.
So we have 2 burns here. And let's go ahead and I think we're going to, let's just do a hit. No, we're going to do a cycle. Let's bring up this Landy.
Never give up.
Oh, she didn't move. I guess there's
I'll
no
show you
combat
what a
readiness
genius can
here.
do.
Have I not noticed this whole time there's no combat readiness? Ah,
Do
the
not
healing.
falter.
Let's hit you so that when you go, you don't heal the boss again.
It's time to find an answer.
There we go. Now we see that Doris does get stunned here. If you would like to have a healer that doesn't get stunned, then you want to go to 200% effect resist, and that way you don't get the debuffs that land on you.
Deal with it. You lack discipline.
Okay, and then let's see what we're gonna do here. Let's just go for it and see what happens. She is going to kill the ads, and then the boss, I think, is going to bring them back on the next turn.
Will no longer hide.
I'll win anyway.
It's time to
Now, what
fight
worries
on.
me here is that the boss will bring them back. They'll have their S3s already up, and they do. And now I have a big problem because I have to get the stun off. Should have used Arky right there. Ah, the healing. And again, I really thought that it would work.
These meatheads.
Yeah, no combat readiness. I really wanted to get the stun off. I thought she would cycle, but she's too slow. Too slow, and you can't raise her combat readiness. That
I'll
sucks.
show you some results.
All right, let's see. We have a slow, so let's go for Arky.
No one can stop us.
32,000, really nice.
I'll end
I'll
this.
be there.
No burn there.
Too bad. I study so that I can help others.
Okay, let's go ahead and do Arky again.
Here comes
Sacred power.
Arky.
Are we getting close?
Statistically,
That's the question.
the odds are on my side.
This is where the heal block really comes into play, right?
Win anyway. This is it. Final strike.
Can I get a soul? I do.
Demonstrate.
Now what I want to do is I need to bring this guy low. See if we can get a heal without killing. Don't kill.
Deal with it.
Don't kill. Don't kill. Okay, hey, that worked out. That worked, right? Now she's gonna heal. Oh no, it didn't work. That one worked.
Bon voyage.
Okay,
You'll regret
this will be the last pass. Let's go ahead and detonate on the boss.
Don't waste
Very
my
good.
time.
You lack discipline.
Can I get a kill here? I don't. We're gonna get it on our next one.
I sense new magic nearby.
Don't need to heal, so let's just go ahead and do damage.
I'll show you some results.
Oh man, I wanted to get it right then.
Some meatheads.
That's okay, this one should work.
I'll show you what a genius can do.
I will no longer hide. With the fruits of my studies, I will protect everyone.
I'll show you my power.
Now this boss might get
Time to
another
find an
heal
answer.
from the ads before Landy can go. So let's hope that Landy is able to cut. I really hate she doesn't get combat readiness. That would help me out quite a lot if she did. That slow, not good.
Don't
And
waste my
oh man,
time.
it's so
Do
close.
not.
Oh, good. We
It's
cut.
time.
Nice.
Commence tactical maneuvers.
Let's get one stun on the upper ad. There it is.
Let me
Now,
show
if
you
you're
the
curious,
results
my
of
Landy has
research.
about
It doesn't hurt anyone, does it?
50 effectiveness. So not enough to land anything onto the main boss if I had to,
I'll show
but enough
you
to stun all the ads.
my secret methodology.
And this one
I'll
should be
win
done
anyway.
as soon as I get some souls for the Archie. Maybe we can get it done before then, but they're gonna try and heal. And they do. No proc. It hurts. It hurts so much, the healing.
Lack discipline.
The healing. Oh man, and then see, it's just grief.
I'll show you
They're
some
just griefing
results.
me. That's what it is.
Will you help me?
Leave it to me.
So very annoying.
I'll show you my power.
These things take a long time for basically no reason.
Will no longer hide. Don't back down. I'll grant you the power to fight. Allow me to demonstrate. Better. Too bad. Shall I test my theory? These meatheads, just as I planned. Victory is
Wait, did
ours.
Landy just call them meatheads? That is so
Don't waste my
hilarious.
time.
That is the ultimate insult. You're a meathead.
I sense new magic
Ultimate
in your
insults from Landy. I like
eyes.
it.
You'll regret this.
I like it.
Statistically,
Let's go with the burns. Hopefully we can land 2 here, and then the ad will be dead. And there shouldn't be anything holding us back from finally killing this boss.
I'll show you what
As
a
long as she
genius can
doesn't
do.
totally destroy my
I
heroes.
study so that I can help others.
Yeah, let's do
Let me
this.
show you. Allow me to demonstrate.
And then this should
Fight
kill.
them back.
Just trust me.
Deal with it. I'll
There
show
we
you
go.
some results. Too bad.
I'll win anyway.
Alright, and then we have a Doris turn coming up here before this ad can go. So I want to, well, she's got a slow. Let's go ahead and see if we can kill with Archie here.
Archie's turn.
I'll tear you to shreds.
There we go. Archie finishing it out like a boss. Let's go ahead and take a look at our map. Since this is the first time we had to walk to the boss, then once I was done with the boss and I went back around to here, down to the west, and then down to this last spot here for the last mini boss. That brings us to 8 sap covered items. Now let's go ahead and go through the portal and see what we get. I'm really hoping for a rage pair of boots. Okay, we don't get rage, but there's some things we might be able to get. We'll go ahead and sell this one. Now, this is a revenge set. I don't use a revenge set. If it's perfect, like amazing, if this comes into 32 or 34, then I'll keep it. Otherwise, it's going to be a sell. Now, this one here is pretty good, actually. Speed, health, defense, effect resist. Awesome. We're going to keep that one. Now we go into effect resist, defense, speed. Now, this is a 26. This is pretty low. I want to see 30 or more on a level 88 piece of gear. Maybe what we do is we try and roll this one to see if it rolls really high into speed and defense. And then try and mod that flat health into health. We're going to keep it, I think. But normally this is going to be a throwaway item, so it's not something that we generally keep. Just to let you know. If you're speed checking items, then I think that it's good. Otherwise, not going to keep it. Arahakan gear turned out really well. Let's see, we have that +9. We have everything we might need. Let's see what we can do with this piece. If by +9 it's looking really good, we see a lot of health, then that is going to be an amazing piece. Triple roll health, that's what I want to see. Triple roll health and no effectiveness. Unfortunately, we do roll some effectiveness, so not amazing. I want to be at a 57 here. I'm at a 50. That's because I get a min roll into effectiveness and an almost min roll into the health. Let's see if we can get a max roll. We didn't get a max roll. I want to be at a 66. I'm at a 60. What do we do for this? I think that I think that we are going to take this all the way up. Normally what I would want to do onto a protection set is I want to have a health pair of boots, right? So I want to have health here and speed here, and then it would be pretty perfect. When you're using protection set, you want to have as much health as possible. That way you get as big a barrier as possible. But if we roll other pieces of this gear that roll, double, triple, quadruple health, I think that you can use a speed pair of boots. And so this one's going to be a keep for me. Let's go 2 more times into health. Oh, oh, it hurts. It hurts. 2 times into effectiveness. The one thing I wanted to avoid, and I get triple roll into effectiveness. I want a +90. I get an 87. That sucks. And that's because we get too many mid rolls, but we're still going to be able to use this piece. Now let's go into the ring. Now this one is rather easy. I want to see a health percent here, and I don't get it. So we want to avoid that. Then we see effectiveness here, and I want to avoid that as well. Let me get a speed roll, 3 into speed. Now in this, I want to see a 57. I'm only at a 45. That's because we get this flat. You know what? I'm not going to keep this piece. I'm not going to. 1, it's low. 2, we can get a better ring from the raid shop. So I'm going to cut it off right here at +6. If we had rolled double speed, like a 4 and a 4 here, so that would be an 8 and 11, then I would want to keep this going. Maybe I can get like quadruple roll in speed. But I think at where it sits right now, I'm just going to go ahead and let that piece go. This boss was a pain. Usually it's one of the easier bosses for me, but for some reason, not able to pull it down on this account as easily as normal. It took me about 4 or 5 tries with different teams. I tried it using like an Araminta carrot combination. I've tried it using a Seaside Bologna with a Champion Zerato combination, and for some reason, just could not get it to work. I think that because we didn't have a strong enough healer, that made it very difficult. So we're going to try and swap in Montmorency and move Angelica to the Carcass team, and I think that'll solve it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Give me a like so other people just like you can find it as well. Until next time, happy hunting, and good luck on your battles.